for being able to ensure that we are able to maintain this pandemic in our country? Shouldn't he be credited for that?
Before Levin jumps in, because I know he's going to jump in, I would say I do give him credit. He deserves credit for the handling of this pandemic here in the Bahamas. He has been recognized regionally for it. However, it has been the most confusing thing. For example, it's a lockdown starting at 9 p.m. this evening until Monday. Well, you can go to restaurants, you can go to the food store, and I'm not talking about just essential workers. It is confusing, the information 10 at a time, several times a day that come out. It almost leaves you sort of in a seesaw position, wondering, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? Okay, what to tell the police if they were to somehow apprehend me somewhere on the streets? It has been most confusing, but to your first point, Clint, the Prime Minister and his team of medical experts here in the Bahamas, yes, they deserve commendation for putting measures in place that have obviously stemmed the rise and the tide of COVID-19 cases. We have gone several days now here in New Providence and Grand Bahama without a positive case, so that's commendable. But it has been most confusing to understand what to do tomorrow, for example.
Well, for me, Clint, I don't share those sentiments. I mean, I think they didn't get out of the gate early enough. I thought there were many things they could have done in the earlier days to prevent the entire lockdown thing. Also, at this point, it looks like Dr. Dalregis is trying to earn her salary. I mean, that's what it looks like to me, right? So you have lockdowns that are going to continue from 9 to 5 until the end of the month. But you can leave your house, people can go jogging, we can come out of our neighborhoods. Either COVID-19 is schizophrenic or something isn't going right with this thing. Then let's look at the universal numbers. I think it's 363,000 people thereabout that have been killed so far. Not 400,000 people yet. So less than the population of the Bahamas has died in the world, right? Here at home, 11 people have died. Let me quote some of the cases that I recall off of my own mind. A 77-year-old man, I think he was the one with the kidney issues. There was a 70-year-old man. There was a 92 or 3-year-old man. I mean, when I consider the fact that there have been about 6 murders during this lockdown period, I am beginning to grow wary of a government that cannot protect me from threats that it can see, continuing to frustrate me in the name of protecting me from a threat that it cannot see. Even with the lockdowns again at 9 p.m., Clint, it means now that people cannot put in an additional shift. We're talking about the Prime Minister, said that there's been $16 million allocated for the food program. People don't continue or want to continue needing social assistance. People want to go to work. And if COVID can get them at 9 p.m., it must be able to get them at 9 a.m. I can't understand what is this thing that as soon as night falls, COVID-19 becomes some super extreme virus that is going to just swallow you up. It's ridiculous at this point.
So I mean, hands up if you believe that this 9 o'clock curfew that's taking place at night is primarily to control crime.
I heard from the Commissioner of Police today. Let me just tell you, I've never felt less confident in the Commissioner of Police. The Commissioner said, our plan is to fight crime. I couldn't have guessed. I couldn't have imagined that was what was the role or the plan of the police force. If that is what it is for, if you're going to use it as a crime-fighting tool, then we deserve to know that. Because I would like to write you a letter and tell you that, sir, I ain't going to go commit no crime. You could let me out the house. You understand what I'm saying? You ought not do this. And this is where I become wary of these kinds of protocols. In a free society, the more of your liberties you give up, the more of them that you welcome to have being give up. And that is a very dangerous thing. The freedom of movement of a human being is a fundamental right. And we are now bordering on almost 3 months of having that right tampered with. And it's beginning to not even be justifiable at this point. Because like Shenique said, we're on a 24-hour lockdown tomorrow, but if I want to go to a restaurant to buy some food or some takeout, that is very much allowed. Well, what if I need to check the menu first before I decide what I want to eat? How about I check the menu at 6 different places because they don't answer the phone? I mean, where does the insanity stop?
I think that many persons are of the opinion it is a measure of control. And the more you give up, the more, as Levin just pointed out, is taken from you. Yes.